Welcome to another edition of Crime Time with DutyRon. Guys and girls, I'm a retired New York City police detective with 20 plus years of law enforcement. And if you like all things true crime related from that police perspective, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so you will get all things DutyRon when I go live or upload another video. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the Petito and Schmidt civil lawsuit. The request to throw it out was denied today. So a win for the Petito and Schmidt family. Nichole Schmidt and Joe Petito, I know, are elated with this decision. We heard from criminal defense attorneys who said it was not going to go forward. I am thankful. I'm always there for the victims and their families. No matter what case we're talking about, I support the victims and their families. Here in this case, I support the Schmidt and Petito family, and I'm happy to announce that the civil lawsuit against the parents of Brian Laundrie will go forward in Sarasota County. The Sarasota County Circuit Court Judge Hunter Carroll gave his decision. He denied the motion to dismiss by Christopher and Roberta Laundrie. And again, Mr. Bertalino, a big double thumbs up. Fingers, I did that by mistake. But before I get into it with you guys today, I want to say a special thank you to my Patreon supporters, the channel members, all of the people who subscribe and positively engage in Crime Time with DutyRon. You guys are what makes this a great place to be. And I thank you guys all. JD, Ben Barbara, thank you so much. Dawn Marie, great to see you. Thank you to the great mods and all of the replay crew. The replay viewers, you guys are fantastic. So again, Circuit Court Judge Hunter Carroll denied the motion by Christopher and Roberta Laundrie, the Dirty Laundries. They denied the motion to dismiss the civil lawsuit. You know, we heard from our good friend, criminal defense attorney Joe Murray. He felt that it was not going to go forward. There was no chance that it was going to go forward. We always hold on to hope. This is a victory, but this is by no means a victory in the conclusion of seeking justice for the family of Gabby Petito. This is not about justice for Gabby. This is about justice for her family. They're bringing this lawsuit forward, and I have it here. It's 8 pages. I have this, the decline decision, 8 pages. I'm going to upload this onto DutyRon.com. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to upload all 8 of these pages where you could read it. Comes from the Sarasota County Clerk's Office, Sarasota County, Florida. So Stephen Bertalino, that's the attorney who represents Christopher and Roberta Laundrie, says he's disappointed in the decision today by Judge Carroll. And of course he's disappointed. Why would he not be disappointed? He wanted it to be thrown out. We are looking at an 8-page notebook. We're looking at a digital version from Brian Laundrie, which contradicts the handwritten. By a show of hands here, who fully believes that handwritten version, the 8 pages of the notebook, was wholeheartedly written by Brian Laundrie? Or did Brian Laundrie write that on his own accord, or was he coached by maybe somebody, and I'm just throwing it out there, I'm not saying it, but maybe coached by somebody like Bertalino or somebody from the lawyer background, or maybe his parents, or maybe somebody else. I don't feel that if he did in fact write that notebook, that 8-page notebook, I don't feel that he wrote that on his own accord, because it was simply hogwash. What we read in that 8 pages was nauseating. It was nauseating to hear it. It was nauseating to see it. It was nauseating to listen to people talk about it. So a lot of people here in the chat are saying faked or coached. Jersey Devil says, nope, not his own, DutyRon. Santa Elise Hof Johnson is here. Debbie T says fake, coached, and or all. It's all. Hey, listen, how many people here in the live chat saw the coverage that WFLA JB Benuno? He's doing a great job of covering this case. He's doing a great job of covering all the cases that he covers. I was watching just little bits and pieces of JB's coverage, and it was quite, quite comprehensive. And I really love the way JB respectfully covers these stories. He doesn't cross the line and throw punches out at either side, either the defense or the folks who are bringing it forward, and that's Gabby's mom and her father, Joe Petito. I love the way he shows respect for the victims' families, and that's what it's about. And again, this 8 pages that came out today, this document is available. I'm going to upload this onto DutyRon.com. But these eight pages really say a lot. And what I really, I highlighted quite a bit of these 8 pages. But if you go to page 4, there's some oral arguments that I've highlighted. And I'm going to upload these documents with my notes on them. But I'll just read quickly for you on page 4 of this document. It's the oral arguments. Plaintiffs during oral arguments candidly conceded they struggled with the legal duty owned by the Laundries to them that would have required the Laundries to break their silence. The plaintiffs appear to conflate morality with the legal duty. The plaintiffs have not identified, and the court is unaware of any legal duty the Laundries would have owed the plaintiffs to tell the plaintiffs that Gabby was dead or the location of her body. Furthermore, the plaintiffs point to no duty that the Laundries were under to accept texts or social media messages from the plaintiffs or refrain from taking a vacation while the plaintiffs searched for Gabby. If the facts of this case truly were about silence with no affirmative action by the Laundries, the court would have resolved this case in the Laundries' favor on the concept of a legal duty, or more precisely, the lack of any legal duty for the Laundries to act. Had the Laundries truly stayed silent, the court would have granted the motion to dismiss in the Laundries' favor. But what they're saying on page 4, and I read that purposely, is because they didn't remain silent. They talked to their attorney, and their attorney released little blurbs of information. That infuriated the Petito and Schmidt family even more, because don't forget, they were trying to communicate with the Laundries all along from the get-go, and they blocked them on Facebook. They blocked them on all social media. The Laundries went and blocked them from sending text messages and calling their phones. So this is saying that basically they doubled down. They not only communicated through their attorney what they claimed that they didn't know, but they blocked the Petitos and the Schmidts from even being able to communicate with them, period. They couldn't even send them a text message. Now, listen, most of us here are all family members, right? And we all, a lot of us are either fathers or mothers. If I had someone's daughter, an adult daughter, living in my home, and she did not return on a trip with one of my sons, I would not ever in my lifetime, and I could say this with extreme conviction, never ever would I shut down communication, no matter how guilty I knew my son was, no matter how fugazi or how strange the story sounded. I would have a moral obligation, because I'm a good person, to communicate with that girl's parents, this being the Petito and Schmidt family. There was no way that my wife and I could lay our heads down at night and say, you know what, I'm going to plead the fifth, and I'm going to have my attorney. You could talk to my attorney. And when the cops come to my front door, I'm going to hand them my attorney's card. I could not sleep at night, but that's me. That's just me. I don't understand the mindset of the Laundrie family. We heard Brian Laundrie's sister. She spoke more to the media than the parents did. Obviously, the parents never spoke to the media. But Brian Laundrie's sister was the only one to speak 2 times. And she spoke pretty well. And she said, I don't know if my brother is telling the truth or is lying. Or I don't know if my mother or my father know about it, because they didn't even tell me. That crazy camping trip / vacation in Fort DeSoto, I believe it was, That to me was the icing on the cake. And by a show of hands in the chat here, who was following this case closely enough to be there during the course of that time? Who felt that that was doubling down at the 10th degree? That was a 10th degree double down of taking everybody out on a ridiculous family outing. I mean, we all said this is their saying goodbye before Brian Laundrie went on the run, before he took a run south of the border or up outside of the country. I mean, but how crazy did that sound? Black Rose 11 agrees, Iris agrees. I mean, everything that surrounds what happened during the course of Brian Laundrie coming home and laying his head down every night without Gabby back and parking that van in the family's garage. I mean, this whole case is just beyond belief. It's beyond belief. So Pat Riley, the attorney for Gabby's mom, for Nichole Schmidt and Joe Petito, it's going to be a whole year from next month, from August of 2022 to August of 2023 before this trial starts. This is a civil trial. It's not a criminal trial. It's not a criminal. There's no criminal charges brought up against the Laundries. I know a lot of people ask me on DutyRon.com, DutyRon, could the Laundries be brought up criminally on any evidence that comes out during this civil trial? The answer to that is it depends on what the evidence is that comes out in the civil trial. I don't think it's probable, but it's not impossible. Okay. Again, here's my notes. The trial, the trial is going to start August of 2023, this civil trial. So a lot of waiting, a lot of things are going to happen in between that time. We could hear from Bertalino, and he could try to put another dismissal, a request for dismissal in. I forgot exactly what it's called because I have so many notes here. But the Sarasota County civil suit is going forward as of now. And again, these folks, nothing. I would put nothing past the Laundrie's attorney. He's a real snake oil salesman, slime ball. I mean, I don't like Bertalino, and I didn't like him from the beginning, and I don't think I'll ever like him because I feel strongly, and this is my opinion, I feel strongly that Bertalino, along with the Laundrie family, knew exactly what happened to Gabby Petito. And I feel strongly that they kept that to themselves and took that Fifth Amendment to a degree of excessiveness. You're talking about someone's daughter. You're talking about another human being, and I feel strongly that you could not tell me that your son can travel home from Wyoming, from the Tetons, across the United States down into Florida, and just come home and say, "Oh, Gabby left with some other guy, and she left me." Whatever bullshit story he gave his parents initially would not fly with any of us. And I say this, to myself, and I say it, and I talk to people about this. You cannot tell me that they had no clue that something was amiss, something was very, very wrong. You don't just come back, because remember, a lot of us are forgetting about the trip that he took, and he came home and then he flew back. I want to know what that was about. I want to know about what was going on at that point when Brian Laundrie decided to come back, fly back, and then drive back. What was that about? I mean, that's a whole nother piece of the puzzle here that a lot of us are forgetting about, but I'm not forgetting that part. I'm not forgetting that part. And that part is confusing to me. I don't think his sister Cassie was involved in anything. I think that her involvement is that she's just the sister of Brian Laundrie. And she was being threatened out in front of her house. Remember, she came out and said, "My children are scared." I think that she was held in the dark more than the attorney. was held in the dark, because the attorney wasn't held in the dark. It was full disclosure with him. But, again, this is a win for the Petito and Schmidt family. I want to celebrate that win, because there were so many naysayers. I had so many people telling me privately on the side, it's a bogus civil lawsuit. It's not going to go anywhere. They're not suing because they want to become rich. They're suing because they want to be able to say something and put a stand up. They want to be able to yell and shout for any parents in the future, if God forbid this was to happen to somebody else, that it's not all right to keep your mouth shut. It's not all right to plead the fifth when you know that something bad happened between your son and his fiance. So they are doing this because they want to put that point forward and let other people going forward have the opportunity to say, hey, you can't just shut down on if my daughter or if my son goes missing while he's on a camping trip or on a vacation with your son. That's the point here. They're not looking to become rich. They're not looking to sue them and take every dime from them. The point is of this civil lawsuit is that it's not all right to shut your mouth. And you don't, under the Fifth Amendment, yeah, you have the right to remain silent, but you morally have a right to say, hey, something is really wrong here, and we want to help you find your daughter. They did not want to help them find the daughter. As a matter of fact, when we see that letter that's going to come out in this trial, the letter that Roberta Laundrie wrote, and it said, burn this after reading. When that letter comes out, and it's going to come out once this trial commences, this civil trial, that's going to be an interesting read. That's going to be an interesting read. And that's where it's going to teeter on something criminal in the aiding and abetting part. That's what I really want to hear and see. That's going to definitely teeter on aiding and abetting, depending on what the contents of that letter is to Brian Laundrie. Everything will come to light, everything will come to light. But let me just say this, if you're new and just coming across this video, make sure you subscribe to this great community. I have some of the best moderators, subscribers, and friends, and people who send in messages. Leave me a message down below in the comment section. Let me know what you think about what we're talking about here today. But this is pretty straightforward. The judge denied the motion to dismiss. They denied the motion to dismiss. Cecile, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. Much appreciated. The super stickers and the folks who watch the videos in completion and let the ads play, you're contributing to this great community. We pay a lot of our super chats and a lot of the fundage that we make on Crime Time with DutyRon. We pay a lot of it forward to the victims and their families. Eddie T says it good. See something, say something. Listen, again, I go to the story that I tell time and time again. I took my youngest son's girlfriend to Aruba with us on our yearly pilgrimage to Aruba. We go on vacation every year into that beautiful island. And I took my son's girlfriend with me, and her father said to me, Ron, that's my baby. Make sure you don't, keep your eye on her. Make sure nothing happens to my daughter. I watched her like a hawk. I paid more attention to my son's girlfriend, making sure that she was safe and in my eye shot than anybody on that whole trip. My son, I know, was looking out and looking after his girlfriend, but I always made sure that his girlfriend was safe. And that's the difference here. You look at the Laundries, they shut down the Schmidts and Petitos. They shut them down. You know what they said? They said nothing. They just shut it down. They didn't even give them, hey, they were last in the Tetons. They were last here. We had to rely on social media. We had to rely on Red, White, and Bethune. Jen and Kyle were instrumental in the FBI and local authorities and searchers finding Gabby Petito's body. And if it wasn't for Jen and Kyle, Red, White, and Bethune, it would have taken quite a bit longer for them to find her remains. And they may not have ever found Gabby Petito's remains if it wasn't for Red, White, and Bethune. So, you know, this is just crazy. I want to just read to you quickly what it states in the suit. Okay. I'm going to just quickly read this and then we'll wrap it up. The lawsuit alleges that the Laundries knew that their son had killed their daughter. This is coming from Nichole Schmidt and Joe Petito. And the lawsuit alleges that the Laundries knew their son had killed their daughter and said nothing and were conspiring to help him flee. It asks for damages for pain and suffering, accusing the couple of acting with great malice or great indifference to the rights of Joseph Petito and Nichole Schmidt. The suit also claims that the Laundries' refusal to divulge any and all information about their daughter's death exhibited an extreme and outrageous conduct, which constitutes behavior under the circumstances which goes beyond all possible bounds of decency, exactly what I just said, and is regarded as shocking, atrocious, and utterly intolerable in the civilized community. Attorneys for the Laundries were in court in Venice on June 22nd, asking Judge Carroll to dismiss the lawsuit, saying the murdered girls' parents simply have not proven their case, when we know today that they have proven that the case can go forward. Bella Blondie, thank you for joining from South Africa. Always great to see you. Thank you for joining. Lisha, always great to see you. Thank you for joining in on the live stream. A lot of people are here. Thank you, and thank you over and over again. The judge, in his ruling on Thursday, that's today, disagreed with that above statement and put at least part of the blame on the Laundrie's personal lawyer, Stephen Bertalino. On September 14th of 2021, after Brian returned to Northport alone, and 5 days before Gabby's body was found in Wyoming in the wilderness, Bertalino released a statement saying, "It's our hope that the search for Miss Petito is successful and that Miss Petito is reunited with her family. On the advice of counsel, the Laundrie family is remaining in the background at this juncture and will have no further comment." That was from Mr. Bertalino. In his decision, Judge Carroll suggests that the Laundries are responsible for statements made by their attorney because he was speaking on their behalf. Had the Laundries truly stayed silent, the court would have granted the motion to dismiss in the Laundries' favor in this case, but they didn't remain silent. They made a statement through Bertalino. So we have to thank Bertalino for being a dummy and being stupid and having to open his mouth up. Remember, we used to see Bertalino on Banfield, and she obliterated him. Banfield obliterated Bertalino. He couldn't help himself. He had diarrhea of the mouth. By a show of hands here in the chat, who feels that Stephen Bertalino, the attorney for the Laundries, had diarrhea of the mouth? And here, in this case, it came back to bite him in the ass because the judge declined the motion to dismiss this case based on Bertalino's mouth. Let me read this super chat by Aunt BB. Hold on. Where did it go? DutyRon, if the Laundries are found guilty, which I hope they are, can they be held responsible to pay for the search versus the taxpayers? Anything is possible, but the probability of that would be no. But Bertalino, he couldn't keep his mouth shut. He loved the camera. He was like a whore on TV. He was a camera whore. And I hate to use that word because it's a slang word. It's not a nice word. But Bertalino was like a little whore. He wanted to get himself out in front of everybody. And he wanted to be like, look at me. Look at me. So I'm going to read that over. In the decision, Judge Carroll suggests that the Laundries are responsible for the statements made by their own attorney. Had the Laundries truly remained silent, the court would have granted the motion to dismiss this case in the Laundrie's favor. But Judge Carroll wrote they did not stay silent because Mr. Bertalino ran his big fat mouth. So there you have it. I'm adding some extra. He didn't say big fat mouth. I'm saying that. I'm saying that because I can get away with it. By a show of hands, who likes that I add a little extra lib to some of this stuff? I put in his big fat mouth because I like it. I like the way it sounds. Because the Laundrie statement by their attorney in the context of the unique facts of this case is objectively outrageous, the court concludes that the plaintiffs have stated cause of action for intentional infliction of emotional distress by them against the Laundries. The court denies, boom, the Laundries' motion to dismiss the order. Gabby and her fiance, Brian, were on a cross-country journey, as we know, last year, documenting their trip on social media when Gabby suddenly disappeared. And this is a news outlet writing this. I would write it as Gabby suddenly was murdered by Brian Laundrie. Brian Laundrie returns home August 25th, disappeared on August 25th. Brian Laundrie returned home alone to Northport, Florida, with Gabby's vehicle in September of 2021. Petito's body was found in a remote area in the national park in Wyoming, as we know, in the Teton. Cause of death was ruled to be strangulation by throttling. Manual strangulation by throttling. Brian Laundrie disappeared on September 17th of 2021. His remains were eventually found in the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park near his home, and the cause of death was ruled a self-inflicted gunshot wound. A notebook near his body contained the confession letter, which Roberta and Chris Laundrie found, which was kind of shady in itself. But let's look at some of the chat. Gail is here. Thank you for joining, Gail. Who else is here? Sean B., always great to see you. Let me know in the comment section how you guys feel about the decision today. Combat Vet is here. Always great to see you. Margaret Van Wanning, thank you so much. Yes, love DutyRon's words. Big fat mouth. You go, DutyRon. Appreciate that, guys. Thank you. More coming out because of this lawsuit. Yes, Rose is agreeing. Rose, I hope you're feeling better. I hope all things are well for you. Legal-minded friends, great to see you. She says, loving the add-ons, DutyRon. You are the voice for the victims. Hey, listen, we are all a voice for the victims. Listen, we're all in this together. We're talking together as a collaborative community, and we are all the voice. Cujo, great to see you. Jakey5, so pleased to hear this for Gabby. Absolutely, absolutely. Scout Inquirer, upstate New York, my fellow neighbor and friend. It's appalling what the Laundries, that attorney did. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree with that statement. Thank you so much. And thank you to the super chatters and all the folks who positively engage in this live stream. You guys are great. A big win for the Petito and Schmidt family today. We have to wait, unfortunately, a whole nother year. The trial is going to happen on August of 2023. It's a shame that we got to wait that long, but that's going to give time for everyone to get prepared. There's going to be no questions about, things being shared amongst each other and things of that nature. It gives all of the parties chances to exchange information and to have everything, I'll say this, it gives them enough time to have all their ducks in order, and nobody can have any doubt in what the legal process is. So it's all good. It's going to go forward. Before you know it, listen, a year goes by like that. I mean, look, it's going to be this weekend is July 4th, the 4th of July. Half of the summer is already over. So before you know it, we'll be in August of 2023. Time flies when you get older, like me, when I'm getting up there in age. And speaking of age, Dave Rader from EquiSearch Midwest, the director of EquiSearch Midwest, Dave Rader, who also was at the ready to help search for Gabby Petito by drone in the Tetons. While this was all going on, I was talking with Gabby's stepdad, Jim Schmidt, and I was telling him we are ready to send drone pilots out to the Tetons to search for your daughter. And he thanked us and said there was a lot of people out there, and he said he was good, but for us to be on standby. Dave Rader celebrated his 60th birthday yesterday. So happy birthday to Dave Rader from EquiSearch Midwest. He's an older man. He's 2 years older than me. So happy 60th birthday to Dave Rader. He looks very well. He's a handsome young fella. So God bless him for 60 years young. Yeah, Rose, I agree. It's a great decision by the judge. You can't. I can't be any happier. I can't be any happier. So again, it is what it is, folks. Stephen Bertalino, again, big mouth. Does he have Napoleon syndrome? Maybe. I don't know. But his big mouth cost this lawsuit, this criminal law, this civil lawsuit. It's not criminal. The civil lawsuit to go forward, according to what I read here in the paperwork. The judge stated that because the Laundries did not, in fact, utilize their Fifth Amendment, they were making statements through the family attorney, Steve Bertalino. And because of Steve Bertalino's big fat mouth, as I put it, it came back. He had to write a check with his mouth that he has to cash with his you-know-what. So he's now cashing it with his you-know-what. So the suit is going forward. I'm happy for the Petitos and Schmidt family. I'm happy for everyone, all the surviving family of Gabby Petito. I think it's a great thing. Bella Blonde says it's good. It is good that he ran his mouth. Let me highlight that one. Thank you. Diane says maybe all the truth will come out and Gabby's parents can have some closure. And, I don't think they'll ever get closure, but I think that, yeah, absolutely, it will help them. I'm looking to the chat now to see. Linda Sheldon, this is a common question. People say, he was, hold on, where did it go? He wasn't even a criminal lawyer, was he? There's people that say he can. I looked at his license, and I think he can and was licensed to practice criminal law in the state of New York. I don't know about Florida. He's representing them from Florida, but I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I mean, it's irrelevant when it comes to this at this point right now. But it is something that caused a big flurry. A lot of people were asking that question. Tommy Jordan says, you are the best. Thumbs up. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you. I wonder how much it costs the Laundries for this blunder. Well, I could say this, Deb, is it definitely costs them. Thank you, Jen Lowe. It definitely cost them this suit going forward. So however much, think about it. How crazy is this? Is that they're now going to still have to pay Steve Bertalino to go forward and represent them, right, during the course of the civil trial. And they're going to have to pay him knowing that he effed up. And because of his running off at the mouth, the judge made the decision that was made today because of Bertalino's big fat mouth. So, Richella Pranzo is here, and welcome, Richella. Congratulations on your car. Sean B says, I wish the trial, I really hope the trial will happen next year and that the Petitos and Schmidts win and get justice for Gabby. Again, I feel like it's justice in Gabby's name. It's not justice for Gabby, is the way I look at this. It's justice in the name of their daughter for anybody in the future going forward, because this sets a precedence. This actually sets a precedence for people that are in the, we hope and pray that nobody gets in this position. Losing a daughter under those circumstances or any loved one under those circumstances is horrible. But this will set a precedence that if they win this civil suit, that it's not okay to just say, I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right to shut my mouth. So they're actually trying to make it so other people in the future can't pull this bullshit, So Sean B, I get what you're saying, but I feel like the reason they're doing this is to set the record straight that, hey, this is not okay. This is not okay as a parent to now just shut down another family and say, you know what, your daughter's life didn't matter to us. We don't care about what happened to your daughter. That's essentially what the message that the Laundrie sent is like, we don't care about what happened to your daughter. And we're not even going to say a word. They haven't even said boo to the Petitos and Schmidts ever. That shit is not all right. That is not all right. And I'll say that till I'm blue in the face. That is not all right to do that. That makes you a monster. Now it's bad enough your son killed their daughter, but then you add insult to injury by shutting down. How dare you? Those two people are human scum. That is fucking nasty to do that. Sorry about the F-bombs, but I get a little emotional when I start talking about this because, you know, you just don't do that. You don't do that stuff. So guys, let me know what you think about this video. You know, I send my strength, prayers, and positive vibes to the Petito and Schmidt family. Always loving on them. Again, we have donated thousands of dollars to the Gabby Petito Foundation from this channel. And I'm proud to say that we, not me, we have donated thousands of dollars. At the Gabby Petito Foundation's golf outing just recently, I think it was in April, I handed Jim Schmidt a $1,000 check from Crime Time with DutyRon. That money was from all of you guys. And I'm honored and I'm so pleased and so happy that we have the backing and the foundation that we have here to be able to make that donation to them. It was one of the proudest moments of my YouTube career is to actually hand that envelope over to Gabby Petito's dad. And I met with Joe and he interviewed with me on a live stream, Joe Petito, but I handed it over to Jimmy Schmidt. And it's just part of the goodness that happens here on Crime Time with DutyRon and paying it forward and supporting the families of the victims, of crime victims, is what it's all about. So much love and respect from my house to yours. Ed Wallace and I are going to have a handwriting analysis. She's a wonderful person who's going to come on and do a video with us very shortly. I'm hoping it's going to be tomorrow night. We're just trying to work out the logistics. And then we have a gentleman who's going to join us in that same live stream, who is a forensic. I got to have Ed tell you exactly what his position is, but he's basically going to break down the notes, the 8-page note that Brian Laundrie we got released, the 8-page note that he wrote. He's going to break it down and give us a little bit of a look into the mindset of someone who wrote in the notepad. So it's going to be an awesome, interesting live stream. Make sure you subscribe. Do me a favor, everyone that's here, please give this video a thumbs up. Like and subscribe. Share this video out. Subscribe to this great community, and we will see you on the next one. I want to say a special thank you to the moderators, the replay viewers, and all of the great people who leave messages in this live chat here and also down below in the comment section. Let me know what you think about Stephen Bertalino, that's the attorney for the Laundrie family, and the ruling by Judge Carroll today. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Love and respect from Crime Time with DutyRon. God bless the world. God bless the United States of America, and God bless each and every one of us here in the chat, but especially all victims of crime and their families. They need us now more than ever. Let's send strength, prayers, and positive vibes to the Schmidts and the Petitos. I'll see you on the next one. Peace from DutyRon. Thanks for joining.